Can you pass to the lady in white, please? Thank you.
Zidane.
Zidane, second season as the Real Madrid coach and second Champions League final. How do you prepare this game that you've been waiting for all season long? Well, the first thing is that we are prepared. I think that to arrive where we've arrived, we've worked very hard. We've done a lot of work to be able to reach this final. And on top of that, we won the league as well. So I think that we're in a very good moment. And now it's time for us to play this final that we deserve, I think. And I think that we're prepared. What's most important is that we're all prepared. We're all ready to do this game, to play this game. Yes, Mario Torjon, Movistar Plus. I wanted to ask you, in the previous press conference, Allegri and Buffon and Alves, they said Madrid were favorite. I would like to know if that means that we should all view a final where Madrid is going to be attacking all the time and Juve will be just waiting in defense. And then all the historic references, it's been a long time since anyone has won the Champions League twice in a row. Does that add anything? Does that add pressure to you? No, there's no pressure. I think that Real Madrid knows how to feed from this pressure. We're always living under this pressure. I've seen it as a player. I've seen it as a coach now. You, as journalists, also know what this club is. And you know that, everyone always says all the time that we're favorite. But in football, there are no favorites. We know that this is final. That is even more the case. There are no favorites when it's a final. It's just a one game. And in one game, many things can happen. And really, in the long run, we're not favorite. Juventus is not favorite. It's 50-50. And we're here. We're going to try to do everything possible to win the Champions League once again. Hello, Javier Raiz Cadena said, I wanted to ask you about your feelings, this day before, when you arrived here at the stadium, the trip last year as a coach in Milan, 3 years ago in Lisboa under Ancelotti, 15 years ago in Glasgow. What sensations do you feel? What emotions? Do you think this is a more complicated game than last year? Is it just as complicated, the details? Is Juve similar anyway to Atletico de Madrid? My feelings is... if you had said that I was going to live all of this when I was a child, quite frankly, I never would have believed it. But now I'm living it. I'm living it, and I'm enjoying it. Mostly, I'm enjoying everything that's happening to all of us, not just me. I'm just the coach, just one more, the coach of this team. But there are many of us, and especially the players. We realize that we're living something spectacular, something very special, for quite some time now. And, let's see what happens. It's really beautiful to be able to play a final again after the Milan final. And now we're just ready to play.
Good evening, Aurelio Capaldi from RAI. Buffon said that he is not surprised of the great work that you have done for Real Madrid, but he also said that in life sometimes you can suffer a defeat, and if you lose tomorrow, it's not going to spoil your career. What do you think? Well, Gigi is right in the sense that it's important to do everything you can, to give it your all. In football, anything can happen. I have lost many times. As a player, I lost many important matches, so I know that it's possible to lose. And it's the same for them and for us. They're going to play their game, and we are going to try and play our game. We are aware that we're going to play against a great team. What I want, and what we all want, all of us who like football, is a good final. We want to see a good final, that's all.
Ruben Cañizo, ABC, you've got all your squad here, and all of them are available. So tomorrow you'll give us the lineup. How can you tell 6 players, perhaps some of them have cost millions and millions of euros, that tomorrow they won't even be sitting on the bench? How do you do that? How do you do that to try not to hurt their feelings and to make them feel still a part of the game that's going to be played tomorrow? That's a very good question. And I think that perhaps it's one of the most difficult things to do for me. In a situation such as this one, because as you've said, there are 6 players that won't dress up in our uniform. They will be on the bench. That's what's new, and that's good for them to be here and not on the bench with us and not up in the stands. But in the long run, what's most difficult is to know that they too could offer something to the team, and yet tomorrow they won't be able to do so. But that also forms a part of my work, and I'll do it as best as I can. But I think we're all in the same ship, though. Whoever plays more, whoever plays less, in the long run, we're all in the same boat.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Yes, hello, El País. Before, Buffon said that Cristiano is an example for children and for older people, not just as a football player, but as a sportsman. And that he thought that at 39 years of age, he would never learn anything more from a football player. And yet, from Cristiano, he's learned to continue to be hungry for more successes, in spite of the fact that he's won a lot, and always questioning himself as well. I wanted to ask you, apart from the goals, what does Cristiano offer the team, less from a football sense, from an emotional point of view, if you like? Well, I think that he's a good person because he's worried. He worries about the others. But what I would like to insist on, I'm sorry, but in Spanish there are some words that sometimes just don't come out right. But what's really important is what he does professionally. As many people say, he always wants more. Even if he's playing in a training session, he wants to win there as well. And what this gives the team, and this is what is most important to me, what he offers the team is that he always wants to win. He's got something inside that he's a born leader for everyone else, especially on the pitch, because afterwards as well, he's a very good person and he's always worried about everyone. He's concerned about everyone.
Eugenio
Blanco, Perform Group. You were a star from Real Madrid 15 years ago. Cristiano Ronaldo is the star now. If both of you had played in the same period, who would be the Real Madrid star? Zinedine Zidane or Cristiano Ronaldo? Cristiano Ronaldo, no doubt, because he scores goals, and that's the most important. Stop goals and score goals. Sisu Alejandro Rosa El Dia. It's a bit of a complicated question. You've known Juventus very well. You played there for some time. You know the style that Juventus has, the way they work. Do you expect a very, very defensive game on their part tomorrow? How do you see it? No, I don't think so. I think that rather the contrary, it's going to be a very open game on both sides. I don't think that Juventus, as you said, I've lived there, I've been there. In Italy, the famous catenaccio. No, they have that, but Juve doesn't only have that, and we know that perfectly well. So what I'm expecting is that it's going to be a very open game, and so much the better for everyone. Hello, mister. Here to your right in the first row. Here you go. Alberto Pinheiro. Tuesday, Gareth Bale spoke to us, and he said that he wasn't still 100%, and for him it wouldn't be a frustration not to be able to play in the final tomorrow. I wanted to ask you if you could tell us if Isco or Bale is going to play, because that's the big doubt that we all have. I know that you're not going to tell us, but there's the question. And also, if you think that both players would accept being substitutes. Well, first of all, I'm not going to tell you who is going to play tomorrow. And finally, as I was saying last week, I was saying that they are two players that can also play together. And in the long run, anything can happen. What's important is that when I look at my squad, what's good is for all of them to be ready, willing, and able to play. And you're going to say, of course, they're all able and willing to play a final. But it's not only, mentally. They have to be ready, especially physically. What I'm interested in today, right now, is to make sure that physically we're good, we're well, that we reach the end of the season. Physically, everyone in good shape, high level. And that is what's very interesting for me. And then tomorrow, well, we'll see how we do. Miguel Ángel Dia, Cadena COPE. I wanted to ask you about what Alves said. He said something about Peña, that Peña scored a goal, an offside goal. You were playing there too. What do you think? Well, everyone can give their own opinion. He wasn't there. He wasn't there in that final, but he can give his own opinion, and that's it, to each his own. But as you know, right now, what I'm thinking of, what I'm concerned about right now, is just the game tomorrow. Is that it? Ezequiel Marin, I wanted to ask you. Buffon said that, when they spoke to Alves, that he's helped him to win more titles, and that he's surprised that someone who's won practically everything in the world of football, that he motivates people. What do you do to motivate your players once that they've won every possible title? And you too, as a coach who's won practically everything, how can you motivate yourself, and how can you as a coach motivate your players? Well, the good thing about reaching a final is that motivation is important at the beginning of the season. I think that at the end of the season, no one needs motivation. I think in a final, motivation is there for each and every one of the players. And that's even more the case in our case, because our players know what it's like. Right? So we're not going to change anything of what we did or what we've been doing up until now. We're going to prepare the game well tomorrow, or with tranquility, and we'll give everything. And we'll get everything. As players know, what's important is to give everything you've got when you're on the pitch. And then football is football, as we all know.
First here.
Hola, Zinedine. Aquí a tu derecha.
Yes, over here, Zidane, Fernando Burgos on the zero. So what's most important in football is stopping goals and scoring goals. What the most difficult, the most important. But then the midfield, we've always said that midfield is where games are won or lost. Well, for example, what would you do when you were playing there? Or what is going to be the role played by Modric or Casemiro? Oh, it's a very important role in midfield, of course. That too is where... Well, they're all important. I was just saying that what's most difficult, is stopping a goal, because you can play 80, 90 games, play fantastically well, and in the end they score a goal on you, and that's it. And then what you are waiting for from your number 9, from your forwards, from your strikers, is for them to score goals, which is not easy either. And I can tell you, because I've lived it. I used to play football very well, but scoring goals wasn't really my specialty, really. I haven't scored too many. Assists, yes. But important goals, well, yes, I have scored some important goals, but not many goals. But as you were saying, the midfield is very important, and tomorrow is going to be very important as well. Dr. Alfayan, you have just said that Juventus is not pure catenaccio, it's more than that. I wanted to ask you, what concerns you the most as far as play goes, that could hurt Real Madrid most? What could Juve do to hurt Real Madrid the most? And what do you think Juve is most concerned about your team? Well, I don't know. I don't know what Juve is concerned about. I think that they're probably concerned about the whole team, the whole Madrid team. And for us, it's the same thing, because I don't know who said this, but, in the end, I was saying... Juve is not just defense. It's not just defensive. They defend very well, but it's not just that they do. They attack. They attack very well also, especially nowadays, because Juventus, they have always had very good teams. But nowadays, I think I don't know if I can say that they have the best team ever, but they do have players, very good offensive players. Álvaro Montero, Deportes 4. Now, arrived at this point of the press conference, very little to ask you, but I'd like to know if tomorrow you are going to use any special tactic to motivate your players, perhaps an emotional video, or meeting together before. Is the day of the final anything different? No, we're not going to change anything. We're not going to change anything at all. We're going to talk about the game, yes, as we always do. And that's all. That's why I'm saying that for us, nothing changes. Nothing should change. Reaching the final has been the work. I mean, that's been the most important thing, to reach the final. And now we're not going to change anything. We're going to do things as we've always done them. And we'll see. Bien, pues ya con esta pregunta se termina.
Retraining will follow at 7:30. Thank you.